Hello guys, this is Big Fish, and on this video we're gonna be talking about the Eclipse. This is the class that won the polling, as we've stated before. This is gonna be the how good is Eclipse actually. Well, so first we need to talk about the class a little bit, as this is going to be a showcase and I will be explaining a little bit about what I know about this class. I am by no means the best Eclipse or whatever you want to call it. I am just someone who plays this class quite some time ago and decided to let this class go because there's so much more classes with bigger boobs that tend to take my notice. So, okay, let's get back to let's not stray off topic. The first strength of this class is the ability to really have a good form of forward guard. This class have probably one of the best forward guard skill in the game, being this Royal Fencing Riposte or Riposte or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Potatoes. So this is gonna be your main forward guard skill. The problem is this class's forward guard skill is a bit different than the other classes' forward guard. For this one is the flow actually does not have the forward guard in the arenas, although it does work in field. So this thing has like 3-second cooldown, very short cooldown, and the good part about this is actually the linger. The linger is quite long, so I think it's a full half a second, so it's actually quite nice. So given that the skill itself probably have somewhere around 1 second duration with around half a second of linger, this skill on itself has roughly only about 1.5 second effective cooldown. It's also a daze, so it can be used as an opening or as a counter. It works that way as well. This class have pretty good damage, I would say. Like a lot of people might be telling me like, oh my god, the damage is so busted. Not anymore. Apparently not anymore. So this class has been nerfed a couple times actually in the past 8 months, I think, if I recall correctly. This class has been nerfed a lot. Okay, and so what happened was they reduced the base damage of the skill during a couple patches ago, like I think around 5-6 months ago or longer, probably longer, I'm not quite sure. But one thing for sure is they fucked up her passive, they tweaked her skills, and yeah, so now this class is in this soft spot where it's just really good but not enough to be anything worth mentioning. It's just a class that have good coverage. It has an anti-grab, quite reliable anti-grab, I would say. Quite reliable anti-grab. She has a good reach, very fast as well, and has anti-grab on the skill Meteor Fleche or Meteor Fleche or whatever you want to call it, potatoes as well. This thing has this thing does have the flow enhancement, which basically gives you another hit. This is gonna be a knockback skill without the flow, and if you add the flow, it's gonna be a knockback into a knockdown. The damage is by no means great. This is pretty much at level 3. This thing has a base power of 720 times 2. Yeah, let's just say 1.4k, and applies 50% of the damage of the Meteor Fleche. So roughly, maybe only about I'm not quite sure actually. There's a 720 divided by 2, probably like 360 plus 1.4, so probably like 1.7k percent damage. Is by no means like awesome or something, but it does have anti-grab and it connects to many of your skills like lunge. If you see the combos, most of the link chains do revolve around the skill Royal Fencing Lunge. So this is actually quite nice, yeah? They all revolve around like Royal Fencing Lunge. This is probably your base skill and your main damage filler. This skill has a very high damage, not necessarily because it has high damage, but I mean, if you look at it, it's like 435. Let's just say 450 times 4, so that's give or take 900 times 2, that's 1.8k. By no means like great, it's just okay. But the real prize of the skill is how fast it comes out and how fast it links to other skills. And also, this skill by default does break forward guard on impact. However, it's a bit questionable because it's not really super armor in the arenas. But for field, very good usage. Yeah, this thing will go through the enemy, so it does. It has this anti-collision, like a forced collision kind of a relationship. Next, we're going to be talking about the skill Star Heart. This is going to be your passive. This thing recovers 50% of the Star Breath's. Star Breath is going to be the MP meter of this class. Yeah, this thing recovers 50% of your MP meter, and when the MP meter goes all the way to 100%, you will consume all of them when using some of your skills. And what will happen is you will actually have evasion status on your next skill. So this evasion status means that you'll be completely impervious to full damage. It will block one hit from any kind of damage filler, from any kind of damage source. It will block one hit for the whole duration of that skill. So, well, it's going to be extremely awesome. It does say here evasion status applied while preparing for the next skill, but actually it just goes all the way until the skill finishes. So it's actually quite nice. Next, of course, this doesn't apply in the arenas because they'll be fucking busted, right? Alright, so next, skill damage will be increased by 50%. So it basically gives 50% more base power to all of your other skills. Now, it kind of makes sense. Why? Because like the rest of the skills doesn't really do much, and suddenly, well, it does have a 50% amplification on your next skill. But it's only one skill, yeah? So it doesn't last the whole 10 seconds. It's just the next skill. Next, obviously, as a melee, she does have the increased PvP damage dealt, received. Decreased PvP. Oh my god, I am getting my shit kind of mixed up. Decreased PvP damage received by 10%. So she is quite tanky. Quite tanky, not that tanky, but quite tanky. Increased PvP damage dealt by 10%. So obviously, this class have quite a nice damage amplification by having pure damage amp on the next skill, and also a base PvP damage dealt passive for 10 seconds. Now this is absolutely amazing. I mean, this class has pretty good skill damage, and because of the amp, now it deals significant damage. Now, the only problem is, this class does have weakness to grabs. No matter how many times people are gonna complain about it, like, oh my gosh, you got meter fetching, you just got anti-grab. This is still a melee class with basically 3 rush type skill. And out of those 3 rush type skill, 1, which you will use pretty much all the time, is stationary. And because of that, it's literally just, yeah, please grab me sign. So obviously this class has a huge weakness to grabs, and because the skill Royal Fencing Riposte does not have any form of change to make it super armor, so this is locked. This is immunity locked at forward guard. So you have to be able to have a good positioning, and this class will naturally, because it's a forward guard class, will be weak to forward guard break, because it makes you have to cancel the skill prematurely. But luckily for you, the cooldown is quite short, so it's not really a big issue, although it could be an issue as well, because sometimes you're kind of forced to keep on using it to maintain the rotation, or else the rotation will get fucked. Well, that's probably about it. The next of the skills that I'll be mentioning out will be your main, probably your main heal skill, will be this Royal Fencing Sweep. This is probably the single weakest healing skill in the whole game. And if you realize what I'm about to say, it's this. Recover HP. Yep. Recover HP by 140. Okay. It only hits twice, so yep. That's kind of trash. And usually when it's something this trash, they'll have 2 charges. But nope, this class has 1 charge. So yep. absolutely horrendous garbage sustain. This class has absolutely no sustain. If your HP goes low, well, let's just say it will stay that way until the very end of the game. What I can assume will be a better idea is to move this bullshit to probably Royal Fencing Lunge. That'll be much better. It will allow the class to have somewhat better sustain, because yeah, it's not gonna happen, guys. Like it's not gonna happen, right? Like this sweep is garbage. At least if you're gonna make it like this bullshit, if you're gonna make it like a one charge like bullshit HP recovery, you might as well like give it really high, a really high amount of it. Otherwise it's just gonna become a bit redundant. Let me just change back to the character page. We'll see as a good example, a good comparison of a different class with one healing form of a skill. On the heal skill with only one charge. Good example for that will be this Fury of Como Sylvia. This thing heals 205 at level 1. At level 1, guys. Yep, at level 1. Yep, at level 1. Alright, obviously there's a lot of bias when it comes to this game, and yep, that's kind of sad. But oh well, shit happens, and sometimes there's just no way around it. So let's just see right here real quick. We'll open up the damage recovery numbers. It's gonna go bam. So that's like 205 times 2, right? On Fury of Como Sylvia. So obviously this thing is still at level 1, of course, and yep, it's gonna go all the way up real quick. Plus this class also have not 10%, not 20%, but 50%, fucking 50% PvP damage taken reduction. Okay, all right. So obviously, guys, yep, this Eclipse is not really the most loved class by PA, of course, but she is by no means bad. Her skills have very good linkage. It's got good coverage. It's just overall a pretty balanced class, probably a bit more than balanced. She's kind of good. So I guess that's one thing. All right, so now we're gonna be talking about her combos and stuff. Luckily for you guys, her combos are very simple, and because this class is so flexible, you can kind of like you can sort of like move in any way you want. This class does not have that kind of limitations. This class can just move however you deem fit. This is gonna be the moveset that I recommend people use. You're gonna put Royal Fencing Thrust for an instant daze to a knockback. This thing will be useful for the combo as well. Quillion will be your main damage filler as well. You're gonna use that in between your skills because it will take damage while you're using other skills, and it comes out really quickly. So very nice. Next we're gonna be using Sweep, and then we're gonna be using Remise. This is gonna be your main opening skill. Your Fleche will be your kind of escape or stab or some form of linger break. And then this is gonna be your main damage filler, Royal Fencing Lunge, and finally Will of the Stars, which is your buff skill. This will activate the Starve Breath instantly the moment you start, which will give you all the added bonuses. It will give you the bullshit. As you can see, you're gonna get all of the shit that the passive gives. Very nice stuff. Now, basically, the whole combo will revolve around this one. Wait, give me a second. I missed one skill. Royal Fencing Riposte. Alright, so this is gonna be your main damage. This is gonna be your... I will show you guys in 3 different combos. This is gonna be the most simple one out of them all. It's gonna be Remise into Royal Fencing Thrust. You're gonna do this until the very end, yeah? Until the knockback skill. Yep, okay, until the knockback will be on the last hit. And then you're gonna be using this Quillion skill. And then you're gonna be using your Sweep twice. And then you're gonna use Lunge and Lunge. And then you're gonna use Riposte. And just, like, stay there in their face. Hey, that's the first combo. It's pretty simple, right? It's not difficult at all. Please don't complain. I got a lot of complaints about the previous video about the which one is it, the Destroyer or something. Well, it's not that the combos are difficult. It's just you gotta get good, you know. All right. So next is gonna be the main stab combo. There's gonna be the risky combo, but not that risky. It's gonna be pretty good, but well, of course, still quite risky. So the second combo is gonna be pretty simple as well. This is gonna be your remise into riposte, into quillion, into meteor fleche, into lunge. No, you're gonna use lunge instead of a sweep. Yeah, you're gonna be using lunge twice, and then you're gonna be using sweep. That is the main idea of the combo. I'll repeat it one more time just so you guys can kind of get it a bit, yeah? Remise, riposte, quillion, meteor fleche, lunge twice, and then sweep. And that's your second combo. This one will deal a bit more damage, not by a lot, but all right. At least there's a resistance blocker in the form of this bullshit, yeah? Or you can actually just opt to change the riposte for this instead. The Royal Fencing Thrust, it works the same way. So you can actually just go remise into this bullshit, and then you're gonna use meteor fleche, quillion, boom boom, and lunge. That kind of works as well. Pretty simple combo. And finally, this is gonna be the big PP giant penis style giant penis style combo. That is gonna be your main well, not gonna be your main. This is probably gonna be something you'll probably never ever do, but if you ever had the chance to do it and you want to get all flashy and shit, you can try this combo out. This is gonna take out roughly around 90%, and if on some damage rolls, if some of your crits come out and your A-hit procs, it has a 2 out of 10 chance to one-shot an opponent from 100% to 0, if that's a tanky opponent, kind of like Berserker or something. But it has about 6 out of 10 possible rolls of the crits and the A-hit so far on testing. Can obviously one-shot like softer classes like Fletcher or something, yeah, or Hunters. This is gonna be the combo. You're gonna be using remise, riposte, instantly use this bullshit skill, the Royal Fencing Thrust, all the way to the knockback, and after that you're gonna use quillion. Yeah, you're gonna use quillion, and then you're gonna use this. You're gonna knock someone down using the meteor fleche's the flow, yeah. So the enemy is gonna be like knocked back here, right? During the knockback, you're gonna use quillion and instantly meteor fleche and knock them down, and then you're gonna be using this twice and then sweep. I'll repeat that one more time. Gotta wait for the cooldown a bit, so give me a second, yeah. Gotta wait for the lunge cooldown. All right. So now we're gonna be starting the combo again. Be sure to take a close look at this one. This can be quite a challenge to remember, yeah. Remise, riposte, Royal Fencing Thrust, quillion, meteor fleche, launch twice, sweep, riposte. This is gonna be your main risky combo. This is gonna be the big PP big fish combo. Obviously very risky, very risky, I would say, but definitely very worth all the trouble, because the damage is very high. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can actually play this class in any way possible. You can go like remise into riposte, into sweep twice, and then launch. That works as well. Like, there's nothing wrong you can do with this class. It's so flexible. You can change everything the way you want. Like, but this is gonna be your main stab. This is gonna be your main your main set. I do recommend using this set. I don't recommend changing any other into different using different skills. Like, say the skill Ruin Scythe. A lot of people have been using this. Unfortunately, I think that this skill is kind of dud, because one, it goes from daze to knockdown, so that's kind of redundant. I don't understand why that's for. There's no form of there's no knockback, so it's kind of a waste. Overall, it's just way better, and I think that the quillion, this is gonna be pretty interesting to use. I did in the clip that I have for you guys, I actually do put some usage of quillion on the combos I'm using, just so you guys can learn how to use it as well. hopefully this video is informative and you guys learned something new. Now we're gonna be jumping to the arenas, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun to record, and this is gonna be the big Bubba Auntie Eclipse.
Wait a minute.